edition of Tech News this week. Now, there's one very interesting thing. Like if you remember the desktop era, then it was the West that dominated, right? You had most of the desktops in the West, most of the action happened there. Even when you had the laptops, then most of the action happened in the US, in Europe, that is in the West. But when it has come to the mobile era, things have totally changed. Now you could say that the mobile and Asia have almost become synonymous. Now, if you look at the top three mobile users in the world, then they are China, India, and Indonesia, all in Asia. If you look at the top three mobile manufacturers in terms of units that they come out, then they are China, India, and Vietnam. Right. Now, if you look at even say something like the most WhatsApp users in India, then most of the are there in India. In fact, whoever is second, I think it's Brazil. We are like 3 to 4 times more than that. So basically, the Indians, we have embraced the mobile completely. And this has happened largely because, of course, the cities have done it, but rural India has adopted the mobiles. Okay, the rural India, you remember TikTok was popular in rural India. Their videos are very popular. So WhatsApp is very popular in rural India. In fact, we have even enabled the Aadhaar on the mobile. So it has become your iCard. In China has enabled everything. So I mean, in China, if you have a smartphone, then it is everything. So carrying along these lines, the Q3 results are out, and in terms of market share, Xiaomi has displaced Apple for the number three slot. I mean, what a fall! I mean, now Xiaomi is at number three. In fact, if you look at the latest list, then Korean company Samsung is the undisputed leader. Okay, they will really take some beating. They are totally ahead. And if you look at the Chinese companies, then they are at second place. They are at second place, Huawei. Then at third place, Xiaomi, and also at fifth place, Oppo. So four of the five, mobile companies are Asian companies, and these four Asian companies have now garnered a whopping 56% of the global market share. In fact, while overall smartphone sales declined, one of the high growth areas was Indonesia, which grew by 8.5%. Then talking of make in India, the wearables market is also very interesting. IoT devices, watches, health gadgets. So the wearables is going to see a huge growth in the 2020s. Right? The top four in this domain are Apple, Xiaomi, Huawei, and Samsung. Incidentally, these are the top four in the mobile market too. But in fifth position, according to the latest IDC data, are jointly Google's Fitbit and India's Boat. So at least, if not in mobiles, we have made it to the top five of the wearables. Now, again, continuing with the mobile phone, Flipkart's PhonePe is being spun off as a separate company, and it has received a whopping $700 million in funding. With that, its valuation has crossed $5 billion. So that's what I was saying. Everything is in millions, billions, and market cap of the top companies in trillions. We have entered the age of millions, billions, and trillions. Now, Flipkart co-founder Binny Bansal is headed for the PhonePe's board of directors. So this is another high growth area, fintech, online payments. These are huge. Paytm continues to grow after, remember, we had the demonetization of the Indian economy, and it has been growing through the COVID era. In fact, most online payments are doing well. Now, even if you remember, the Alibaba Ant Group IPO was on course to be the world's largest before it was pulled back. So anything fintech, online payment related is doing well. Then let's switch to the space industry. Now, if you see the space industry, there was a time it used to be dominated only by governments, NASA and all. But now you see private players have really taken off. I mean, prominent among them is Elon Musk. He has SpaceX. SpaceX has currently the largest rocket in the world. They are docking with the space station. They are launching Starlink satellites. They aim to, the amount of satellites in space are 10,000, and they are planning to launch 40,000 satellites. That is their ambition. Richard Branson has Virgin Galactic. Jeff Bezos has Blue Origin. In fact, there are so many, private startups in America that, for example, you may not have heard of something called Avum. That is a space startup which is looking to develop an autonomous orbital rocket launching drone. So these are the kind of things that are happening. But did you know that India is also looking to promote private space organizations? So, as part of the in-space program, the ISRO, that is the Indian Space Research Organization, has given a startup Agnikul Cosmos access to its facilities. So, this is the beginning of the private space industry in India. Let's hope it takes off the way it did in the US. And let's also see if we get an Indian Musk soon. Now, another hot topic is COVID. Now, the Pfizer COVID vaccine has come out. In fact, a slew of mRNA vaccines have come out, which have to be stored at very low temperatures. So now, probably it won't be surprising if the next high growth area is cold chains. Cold storage startups and cold chains will mushroom all over the world, right? Because we will need to store billions of COVID vaccines. They are aiming to, give a vaccine to every person on the planet. So it's billions. Well, whenever any new tech comes, whenever anything new comes, you can't expect hackers to be far behind. According to reports, a coordinated global network of hackers have tried to break into one such cold chain, which operates at minus 94 degrees Fahrenheit. Right? Now, all this is very important. That means now we have to even secure our cold chains. This is very important because India lacks in cold chains. I mean, even if for the COVID vaccines, if we could come out with a cold chain network, then that would be really handy for both pharma and retail. Then, while it's been Geo, we've just been hearing Geo, investing in companies' growth. It is the market leader. Now, the September figures are out, and in fact, it's better news for Airtel. In that month, Airtel added 3.77 million new users as compared to just 1.46 million for Geo. So that battle Airtel won that month. In fact, Vodafone Idea's woes continues as they lost 4.6 million users in the same month. So basically, it's looks like we are heading, because even BSNL, MTNL doesn't seem to be that much of a competition. We might be heading for a duopoly of Geo and Airtel. That won't be very good. So let's hope Vodafone Idea can bounce back. So, finally, if you look at it, collaboration continues to be a hot area of 2020, right? In fact, Salesforce picked up Slack for $27.7 billion. Just imagine, I mean, most of the world has not even heard of Slack, but it's gone for $27.7 billion. And you may remember, this is far higher than what Facebook paid WhatsApp. So that is what we are looking at. So on that note, I'll end this week's edition, and everyone have a great weekend. Bye.